Video we are going to learn about logical implication, rules of inference. What is logical implication? That is nothing but you will get implication statement. So for every implication statement, so there will be certain arguments. What is argument? We are going to see about argument first. Okay, so if you are having statement like this: p, q and r. So what is statement? P, Roger studies. Q is Roger plays racquetball. R is Roger passes discrete mathematics. These are all statements we are having. So what is argument? Argument must have premises and it should have a conclusion. So what are called premises? See, if you are having, what is P? P is nothing but Roger studies. Q is Roger plays racquetball. R is Roger passes discrete mathematics, right? See, what is premises? P1. So here we have three premises. P1 is nothing but P implies Q. That is, if Roger studies, then Roger plays racquetball. Okay. So what is negation Q? It is nothing but negation of the statement. If Roger does not plays racquetball, then he pass discrete mathematics. It is the next statement, P2. Okay. If Roger does not play racquetball, then he will pass discrete mathematics. What is negation? Or he doesn't pass discrete mathematics. It is premises 3. So these are three premises written from the given statement. Okay. So how you will connect all these premises? It is nothing but P1 and P2 and P3 must implies Q. Here Q is called the conclusion. Always Q must be the conclusion. Okay. So here what are the premises we are having? What is P1? P1 is P implies Q. P2 is negation Q implies P. And P3 is negation R, right? So P implies Q is P1 and P2 is negation Q implies R. And what is P3? It is negation R implies Q. What is this means? It is here you have to have the premises and you have to have the conclusion. This is known as argument. Okay, so when you will call this as a valid argument, if you are having this, say you are finding the truth table for this statement, compound statement, and if you are getting truth values as 1 for all the combinations, then you will get it as a valid argument. Okay, so it must be that this statement must be a tautology. If it is a tautology, then you can call this argument. So it is an example we have taken. P, Q, or are different statements here. From the different statements we have formed three premises, right? P1, P2 and P3. Okay, so this is conclusion. So what you will do, it is you have to make the truth table and you have to prove it as a valid argument. If it is a tautology, it will become a valid argument. It is the direct way. So another one is we can use rules here. So to prove this argument as a valid one, instead of going through truth table, so we can use the rules. So there are 12 rules here, but the most important rules are three rules. Okay, I am going to explain those three rules. So every problem can be covered by these three rules. If you train, you will get the argument as a valid argument by these three rules itself. Okay, so first rule is rule of detachment. So what is rule of detachment? It is also known as modus ponens. Okay, what is modus ponens rule? It is P implies Q, therefore Q. What it means? It is P is one premises and P implies Q is another premises. Implies, what is conclusion? It is Q. Q is the conclusion. Okay, so this is known as tabular form. This is tabular form of this rule. So this is the direct form. This is an argument. This is first rule of inference, rule of detachment. P and P implies Q is, it is Q. What is implication? It is nothing but conclusion. Okay, so here we are having two premises, p and p implies q, so you will get q. So instead of q, if you are having negation r, then you have to replace q by therefore negation r. Instead of q, if you are having negation t or else yes, so whatever the value you can replace, these are representations only. Okay, so you have to understand the rule and you have to use. Okay, so this is the first rule, rule of detachment. So second rule is, it is simple. If you are having p implies q as one premises and q implies r, q implies r is another premises, then what you will get? Therefore, it will become p implies r. P implies q, q implies r, so it will become p implies r. Clear? So this is law of syllogism. Instead of p, if you are having negation p implies q and q implies negation r, then here the second element is common here in the first premises, and the first statement is common in the second premises. In that case, what you can use, it is law of syllogism, right? So therefore, what you will write, it is negation p implies negation r. So you have to understand the concept and you have to use it in the argument, okay, to prove the argument as a valid argument. This is second law of syllogism. Okay, so next is modus tollens. What is modus tollens rule? If you are having p implies q as one premises and negation q as another premises, therefore you will get the conclusion as negation p. Okay, so this is understandable that here if you are having instead of q negation q, instead of negation q, if you are having q, then you can have the answer as negation p. So here these two elements must be the negation of each other, it should negate each other. What is q negation? It is negation q. What is here negation? Q's negation, negation of negation q will become q. So in that case, what you will write here, it is p. So you have to negate p and write it is negation p. So instead of p here, if you are having negation r, then also you can write it is negation of r. It is negation of p, right? So instead of p, we are having negation r. So negation of r will become r. Okay. So what is the conclusion if you are having the statement like negation r implies negation q and we are having q? First you have to see to the second statement. Here negation q, here q. So these two negate each other, right? So what you will write? Therefore negation of first statement, what we are having here, it is negation r. So what is negation of negation r? It is same as r. So you can write here as r. Therefore r is the conclusion. Okay, this is modus tollens rule. So you have to understand the rule and you have to apply. So here one argument is given. You have to prove this argument as a valid argument. So what they have given, it is Rita is baking a cake. You can consider this statement as P. Okay. So next statement is, if Rita is baking a cake, then she is not practicing her flute. If whenever not is coming, you have to use the symbol negation. Okay, if means it is implication statement. If a sentence start with if, it is nothing but an implication statement. So in the second sentence also you are having if, third sentence also you are having if. Both are implication statements. If you are having not, it is negation. If Rita is baking a cake, already we have taken Rita is baking a cake as P. Okay, so P implies she is not practicing her flute. So it is negation Q. It is not practicing her flute is some other statement. Not came means you have to put this sign and you have to name the statement as Q. Okay, so what you will write, it is P implies negation q is second statement. So what is third statement? If Rita is not practicing her flute, it is the same statement as negation q. Okay, Rita is not practicing her flute is negation q. then her father will not buy her a car. It is another negation statement, so you can name it as R, and not is coming here, so you will write it as negation R. So what is the next statement? It is third one is negation Q implies negation R. So, what is the final statement? It is therefore Rita's father will not buy her a car. Already these statement came, right? Then her father will not buy her a car is negation or. So therefore, if a statement start with therefore, then it is nothing but conclusion statement. So you have to write like this. What is the tabular form of the given argument? So three premises. This is first premises, second premises, third premises. What is the conclusion? If a sentence start with therefore, that is conclusion. Therefore negation R is the given argument. Okay, so you have to prove this argument as a valid argument. So how you will prove? You can use the rules of inference. Okay, so mostly these three rules we have seen, right? Modus ponens, law of syllogism, and modus tollens. You can use three laws to prove this argument as a valid argument. So how we can prove here? You can observe P implies negation Q, negation Q implies negation R. Negation Q we are having. This is nothing but if you are taking 2 and 3. Okay, premises 2 and 3. P implies negation Q. Negation Q implies negation R. This is premises 1. Premises 2 we have taken and premises 3 we have taken. Three premises are given. So by law of syllogism, you have to always mention which law you are using to get the result. By law of syllogism, these two will become P implies negation R by law of syllogism. So which premises is left now? So we have taken 2 and 3. Okay, so what is the first premises? It is nothing but P. So what you will get? P implies negation R and P. What is P implies negation Q and P? If you are having P and P and P implies Q. Okay, this is the first premises, right? So how can you combine? It is P, P implies Q. So therefore you will get Q. It is nothing but modus ponens rule, the first rule, rule of detachment. So here we are having P, and then this second statement we are having P implies negation R. So how you will combine this? First you have to write P, next you have to write P implies negation R. So P and P implies negation R is in the place of Q. What we are having here? It is negation R. So what you will write? By modus ponens. So what we have to bring? The conclusion should be, it should be negation R here, right? So these are the three premises, and for these three premises we have to prove, give the conclusion as negation R. Okay, so we have proved by using the rules. Clear? So next one is, so here one argument is given. If I study, then I will not fail in exam. If means it is implication statement. So P implies not means it is negation Q. Okay, not fail in exam is another statement, so you can name it as Q. If I do not watch TV, so here also it is negation statement. In the evening, so it is R, you can name it as negation R. Then I will study, already I study came, right? So it is negation R implies P. Okay, so third one is I failed in exam. I will not fail. It is negation Q. Fail means it is Q. Not came means it is negation. You should not see the sentence. See how it is. It is positive or negative sentence. It is not the case. See here, you have to observe only the word. It is if not appears, then you have to put negation sign. I failed in exam. It is another statement Q. So final one is therefore I must have watched TV in the evening. So what it is? It is I do not watch TV in the evening is negation are. So I must have watched. It is therefore are. So what are the premises given? P implies negation Q, negation or implies P, and Q. So what you have to bring is it is R. P implies negation Q, negation or implies P, and what is the third premises we are having? It is Q. Okay, Q, and we have to prove therefore R. So how we can prove this? See here we are having P implies negation Q and Q. So you can take, if you are having negation of two statements, then it is modus tollens rule. Okay, so you can apply third rule, that is modus tollens. What is modus tollens rule? It is P implies negation Q and Q. What is this premises? This is premises 1 we have taken, and this is premises 3 we have taken. So by modus tollens rule, what you will get, if you are having negation Q and Q, this is the negation of the first statement. So you will get negation P by modus tollens, third rule. Okay. So this is result. So you can have it as first result. Okay. So next we have used P1, that is premises 1 and premises 3. What is left here? Negation or implies P we are having. So negation or implies P we are having, and what else we are having? It is negation P. Okay. So again you see here second sentence statement is P, and here also we are having negation P. These two negate each other, right? So again you can apply modus tollens rule. What is modus tollens rule? It is if you are having P implies negation Q and Q, you will get negation P. The first statement negation. So what we are having as first statement here? Negation or. Okay, negation or implies P here, and what is the negation of P? It is negation P. Okay, so what you will get? Negation of negation or you will get as the conclusion. What is negation of negation? It is nothing but R. So finally you have to bring the conclusion as R by modus tollens. Again, if you have applied modus tollens, you will get the conclusion as R. Okay, so these are the three premises, and we have to get the conclusion as R. Clear? So here we have learnt in this logical implication. So there are three rules of inference. So first one is modus ponens, second one is law of syllogism, third one is modus tollens. Okay, so these with these three rules you can prove any argument as a valid argument. Okay, mostly questions will appear using these three rules. You can solve any questions. Okay, clear? Thank you.